FM, Abuja.
The time is 6 o'clock. Welcome to Citizen FM News. I am Didi, and first we begin with stories that made headlines. Federal government berates proliferation of illegal arms in Nigeria. Nigeria recovers $1 billion of looted funds since 2015. African leaders strike peace deal in Democratic Republic of Congo. Welcome to the news. The National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Mongono, has said the proliferation of small arms and light weapons remained a huge threat to Nigeria's security. Mongono said this during the destruction of over 3,000 small arms recovered from across the country by the National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons. The arms were destroyed at the Nigerian Army Command Engineering Depot on Thursday in Kaduna. Represented by Aminu Lawal, Director, Policy and Strategy, Office of the NSA, Mongono said the proliferation of small arms was a major source of vulnerability in the country. The federal government says it has made a recovery of $1 billion since the inception of the President Muhammadu Buhari's administration in May 2015 till date. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, disclosed this after the Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by Buhari at the State House. The AGF noted that the recovered assets deployed to various sectors of the economy, particularly to address poverty alleviation, have made a huge impact on poverty levels and the nation's economy. He declared that the Council has given approval to an anti-corruption strategy document to strengthen the anti-graft fight in the country. The Court of Appeal, sitting in Yola, has set aside the High Court ruling nullifying Emmanuel Boacha and Aisha Binani elections as the All Progressives Congress governorship candidate for Taraba and Adamawa states, respectively. The court ordered that their names should be forwarded to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) as APC governorship candidates for both states. The leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, has sued the Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, Ahmed Abubakar, for imprisoning him in Kenya for 8 days before his extradition to Nigeria. The special counsel to the IPOB leader, Aloy Ejimako, disclosed this via his Twitter handle, where he posted a picture containing the suit filed, where he described Kanu's detention in Kenya as false imprisonment. Ejimako said the suit was prompted by new evidence gathered implicating the DG beyond the infamous extraordinary rendition. The British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Katrina Loing, and the Commonwealth Pre-Election Commission in Nigeria have called on political parties and the political umpire to ensure that the 2023 elections are peaceful and credible. Speaking at a meeting with the National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party in Abuja, Lying said the United Nations or United Kingdom would not hesitate to impose sanctions on any individual or group that commits electoral violence. At a separate meeting with the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Mahmoud Yakubu, the Commonwealth team emphasized the need for Nigeria to get it right with the elections, citing the country's strategic position in the continent as a result, also a reason not to fail. Leading lawyers of Ekiti state origin have described as unacceptable the impeachment of the Speaker of the House of Assembly of the state, Boyega Aribisogon, tagging the action as a coup d'etat against the state. The senior advocates, Afe Babalola, Wole Olanipekun, Dele Adeshino, Olu Daramola, Femi Falano, Dayo Akinlaja, and Boyega Oyewole, who insisted that Aribison remained the speaker and that the action of the Olubumi Adeluba group to impeach him was a nullity, asserted that she could not continue as speaker. The lawyers said the constitutional and democratic rascality must stop henceforth. Chief Executive of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Brigadier General Mohammed Boba Marwa, has said that the ongoing amendment of the Agencies Act at the National Assembly will further boost the country's fight against substance abuse and illicit drug trafficking. Marwa, who stated this in his opening remarks at the NDLEA Special Purpose Committee at the conference in Abuja, disclosed that some of the details of the new bill, which is in its final stage of being passed, will strengthen the hand of the agency and discourage trafficking of illicit substances because of the stringent punishment measures stipulated for drug offenses. The National Agency for the Control of AIDS, NACA, says 1.6 million Nigerians living with human immunodeficiency virus, that is HIV, are now on treatment. The Director General of NACA, Dr. Gambo Aliyu, made this known at a press briefing on Thursday in Abuja in commemoration of the World AIDS Day, themed Equalize to End AIDS, Equal Access to Treatment and Prevention Services. Dr. Aliyu said this year's WAD, that is World AIDS Day, seeks to promote equal access across the population that is marginalized among vulnerable and key affected population groups by removing economic, social, cultural, and legal barriers to HIV prevention services across population groups that are vulnerable to HIV. HIV is a virus that attacks the body's immune system and, if left untreated, can lead to AIDS. And now to some stories on the foreign scene. Malawi is in the grip of a cholera outbreak which has spread across the country, killing 292 people and infected 9,447 since March, when the first case was reported, according to Health Minister Kumbeze Chiponda. Most deaths from the virus, which is spread through contaminated water and food, are occurring in 4 districts bordering Lake Malawi and in Blantyre, the country's second largest city. Treatment camps, mostly makeshift tents, have been set up and cholera patients are arriving in droves, putting pressure on an already overwhelmed health system and the care depleted of essential medicines and equipment so far in the state.
I am deeply affected by my daughter's illness. She is not the only one. Her younger sister was also right here in this very room a couple of days ago. I can testify that cholera is a serious disease and we need to take precautions. I would ask everyone to go for the vaccine when it becomes available.
When you want, you know what to do, but then you don't have this, you don't have enough equipment, and you don't have the supplies and the resources that you need to conduct your or to deliver your work. Then that comes a challenge and a drawback for you to deliver. When you want, you know what to do, but then you don't have this, you don't have enough equipment, and you don't have the supplies and the resources that you need to conduct your or to deliver your work. Then that comes a challenge and a drawback for you to deliver.
The disease is spreading very fast because of a lack of hygiene. We are eating everything that our hands can find. So I have taken my vaccine to not contract cholera.
And away from that, an agreement has been struck which could mean the adoption of a ceasefire in the violence torn east of DR Congo as soon as late Friday. Angola's Foreign Minister Tete Antonio has said the Democratic Republic of Congo's President Felix Tshisekedi has been meeting Rwandan Foreign Minister Vincent Biruta in Luanda as tensions soared between the neighbors amid bloody militia violence on their border. Eastern DRC has witnessed fierce fighting in recent months between Congolese troops and the M23 rebel group.
The mini-summit decided the following: the cessation of hostilities in general and in particular of M23 attacks against the FARDC and MONUSCO as of Friday, November 25th, 2022 at 1800 hours.
Tanzania has begun rationing electricity due to a drop in hydroelectric output after a severe drought. The national power company said, with some areas facing 9-hour blackouts. The East African country can produce nearly 1,695 megawatts of power from hydroelectricity electricity and natural gas, among other sources. But it is currently facing a shortfall of about 300 to 350 megawatts, and that was said by Maharaji Chande, managing director of TANESCO. There are two main reasons for the drop in production: a prolonged drought and an ongoing maintenance of setting site. The site of Kinhanshi, for example, in the region of Morogoro, that is in the southeast, has seen its production capacity fall from 180 megawatts to only 17 megawatts. Tanzania has been trying to increase its electricity production in recent years, thanks in particular to the construction of the controversial Julius Nyerere Dam in the Isiolo's Reserve, which was supposed to produce around 2,100 megawatts. Like its neighbors, the country has experienced low rainfall and a delayed rainy season, forcing authorities to impose water rationing in Dar es Salaam last month. The situation is even more dramatic in Kenya, Ethiopia, and Somalia. The countries are facing the worst drought in decades. And that's about the size of the news tonight. But before we go, a look at stories that made headlines. The federal government has condemned the proliferation of illegal arms in Nigeria. Nigeria has recovered over $1 billion of looted funds since 2015. African leaders have struck a peace deal in Democratic Republic of Congo. And that's Citizen FM 93.7 News at 6, as edited by Lawrence Umoete. To listen to us online, please visit citizenfm.ng. I am Didi. To stay with us, Super Citizen at Sunset continues.
Citizen FM Abuja, now we be the voice of the people. Citizen FM Abuja, now we be the voice of the people. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Make we join our hearts to build a nation of our dream. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Your problem is my problem and my joy is your joy. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Make we join our hearts to build a nation of our dream. Citizen FM.